Today I'm going to show you how to take a wooden back and make a beautiful acrylic dried flower earring. I just get a pack of wooden earrings from Amazon. They have a lot of beautiful different assorted wooden cut earrings. Acrylic brown paint, and this clear coat I put on each side of the earring. If you don't put the clear coat on the earring once you've painted it, it'll bubble up when you put resin on it, so you have to clear coat it. I'm just going to go ahead and arrange the different dried flowers where I think would look the cutest. And I'm going to go ahead and just do 3 different shaped earrings on this video so that you can see some different ideas of what to do with them. Make sure none of the flowers are like touching the edges or your resin will run over the edge. And I think the fun part is arranging the flowers in the way you want. The easiest way is to use tweezers for this, because some of the flowers are so small it's hard to pick them up with your fingers without breaking them. And I'm also trying to figure out which side of the flower is the front. You will need some UV resin for this project. This isn't going to be the type of resin that dries overnight. We're going to dry this immediately with a UV light. I'm taking little bits of pieces off of this flower because this particular earring is so narrow, you have to have really tiny pieces to make it work. And you could do this with other things than just flowers, but the object would have to be pretty flat to make it work. Maybe even if you had some sort of sticker or something that you wanted to use and put resin over it, it would work that way too. These are little gold flakes, but you want to wait till your resin's on to use those. So now I'm just going to pour the UV resin directly on top of the flower, pulling it in the middle, and then you're going to work it out to the edges. You don't want to put too much because if it overfills, it'll go off the edges and it will ruin your project. Going to use a toothpick to lightly work the resin to the edges, making a doming effect, but being careful not to push it over the edge. When you get to the point around the hole for the earring or the earring jump ring, work it very gently around the hole so you're not going down in it, and so that it'll stay around the edges of it. And be careful not to damage your flower. A lot of these dried flowers are very fragile, and even touching it with your toothpick can actually cause a little bad spot in your flower. The earrings want to move around. I'm just working the resin to the edges. The hardest part probably is not to get it in that hole at the top. And once you've done one set of earrings, I would suggest hurrying and putting that UV light on it so you don't have to worry about it going over the edges. And there's one point not right there. There's one flower that keeps on wanting to pop back up. So you'll see me push it down right before I do the UV light. And that's so it'll stay where it's supposed to go. I used the lighter to get out any bubbles that might have been there. Now watch, I'm pushing it down right before I put the UV light on. That's just going to ensure that that flower stays where it's at, because as soon as that light hits it, the UV resin starts to set up. Now I decided to do this long earring. Again, trying not to put too much resin to where it will flow over the edges. So for this, I'm actually going to use these gold flakes, and I'm going to tear little tiny pieces of this gold flake and put it in with these flowers. The reason you can't do this until you put resin on there is it won't actually come off good. It'll stay on your toothpick, and the resin helps it stick to the project. The reason I love working with resin, UV resin or the mold type resin, is that the creative possibilities are endless. You could make these earrings in so many different ways. My hope is that you see this video and it gives you inspiration to go out and create your own amazing projects, because you could do this in so many different forms. Just put the foil wherever you think needs it. And another thing I will say about this foil, if you have it on the edge of your project and you get resin and it hardens, it can make that foil really sharp. So also keep that in mind, because you don't want to cut yourself or your customers with a sharp edge of an earring or any of your projects. So again, I'm taking that toothpick and moving the resin to the edges, being careful not to get it in that hole, and getting it on the edges so that it'll look nice and neat when we put the UV light on it. It's difficult when the earring is moving around on you. Okay. I see a couple more places that probably need a few more pieces of those little flowers. So I'll go ahead and add those in. Also, this is a good time to move all your flower and foil to just the right place before you put your UV light on and set it. These make great gifts, or they actually sell really well too. That piece of foil was sticking up a little bit too high. It would have been pointy. I'm going to use the lighter to get out any bubbles. That's usually your last step right before the UV light. And now those are set as well. When I'm doing these earrings in batches like this, I only use the UV light for probably 30 seconds just to set it. And I will put them all under the UV light at the end for around 4 to 5 minutes probably, just to make sure they're really nice and set. Sometimes you have to flip them over. If any of it leaked on the back, you have to make sure you go ahead and do the UV light on the back too, just to make sure you don't have any sticky substances on the back of your earring. And I would, before you start any of this, definitely paint both sides of your earring or it won't look finished. So both of these sides, the front and back, were painted brown. And they were both sprayed with that clear coat before I started this project. And I also do that in batches. I'll have 20 to 30 earrings that I paint at a time. And then clear coat, I spray them all, each side, in batches. And then I have these earrings painted and ready to go when I'm ready to put resin on them. Okay, right there you see a mistake I made. I accidentally got the resin in the hole. That made me pretty sad because I knew that that was going to be difficult to fix. There's no way to get it out of there. So what I did is I tried to drill the hole back at the end, but it broke the wooden part at the top, which does happen sometimes. So I wasn't actually able to use that half of that earring, which was sad. So that part of the project was ruined. Now I'm going to show you how to finish your earrings, and I'm even going to show you how I put it on the cardboard earring holders to get them ready to sell. Just put the jump ring in and add your earring hook, and it's easier to use 2 different types of pliers so that you're not hurting your fingers and fingernails trying to get it shut. You want to get it even so it looks professional. You can get packs of earring hooks and jump rings all on Amazon. And you can get these cardboard earring holders also on Amazon in packs of 100 to 500. And there's lots of different options you could choose from. Now that set of earrings is completely done. And I love the way these turn out. People are shocked to know that they're actually really dried flowers on the wooden earrings. A lot of them think they're clay or ceramic, but when they pick them up, they realize how light they are. You can see how much easier 2 sets of pliers makes the process. And there's another set of earrings done. So here I'm going to go ahead and show you where that piece got ruined. See how it broke the top of the wood right there? That was sad. So I decided, since I only had part of the set, I would just go ahead and make a necklace. So you take a larger jump ring so it'll fit over the cord. You can use any type of chain, but I like to have these cords on hand. So I'm just going to put it on the cord and close it up. And so now I have 2 sets of earrings and a necklace to sell. So all wasn't lost, it can be a necklace. For necklaces, I just use these holders here and I staple them shut. And that's how I display them in my shop. There's a lot of different colored cords out there too that you can get. There's black and gray and brown. I just thought this light blue one looked really good with that particular pendant. And you just put the earrings in the holes, and then I use these plastic earring backs to put on the back of mine, and they seem to work really well. And now you have 2 sets of earrings and a necklace that you can add to your shop or wherever you're selling. And I think they all turned out really cute. If you like this, you can like this video, subscribe to my channel. I have many other tutorials that you can watch. Thanks for watching.